Hello magical folks, this is Rianne, aka Tea with Crows, and I wanted to share with you today my latest grimoire creation. So this is available now on my Etsy store. I'll pop a link in the description below. So let's hop right in. So this is a fairy inspired grimoire, which originally was just going to be based off fairy lore, but it morphed as I worked on it to be primarily based on the idea and the stories of brownies, who are traditionally associated with household chores and finishing any jobs around the house which haven't been completed during the day. They are said to complete them at night if you appease them. So I pulled some inspiration from those stories and from the film Ariete. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it, it's amazing. So I've included some ephemera and trinkets which you may associate with these stories. So the book itself, it is a hardcover book. It's been bound in a fine needle cord. It's deep purple, you can just about see that on the camera. And I've included some repurposed Angelina fibres, which they sparkle beautifully in the light, iridescent, and some reclaimed fluorite crystal chips. And of course we have a fairy door. There is a little button for the handle of the door as well as the opening of the book. Many charms dangle from this book. They each act as a bookmark as well. They are attached to the spine. So I've included some bobbins with thread attached, a thimble and a triquetra symbol. So it's got a Celtic connection there. And just a little look at the profile of the book, always satisfying. I don't embellish the back, just so that it sits flat. I personally place my grimoires on my altar and I like it to sit nice and flat if I'm working with it. And I've just bound this with an organza ribbon which is wrapped around the button, so as you're opening it, just be careful with it. So I must say before we begin that throughout the book I have put, for illustration purposes, some Brian Froud oracle cards. These do not come with the book, however if you do want to buy some, they are still in print, they are still available online, so please support this amazing artist. So you've got a little pocket there, fabric pocket on the inside, an envelope, some tea stained paper and a paper clip. And another fabric pocket with some bells attached there. You could use that safety pin to hold some other items as well. And I've left a lot of blank space for you to fill in, add your own spice, add your own voice. This is your grimoire at the end of the day. Some pockets which fit some cards in beautifully, or if you've got some spell cards or just some small items you can fit in there. Here's a page from a vintage wildflower book and a gorgeous piece of tissue. This green paper, it's made using pure pigment, so just bear that in mind. If you're putting anything light coloured, like in between the pages, just bear in mind it may transfer ever so slightly. Here's an example of one of the ribbon bookmarks which run throughout the book. They're all bound to the spine of the book. And some more paper clips. Cute little blank card there. You'll see running across the top as well, some paper clips with buttons on. So, like I said at the beginning, I drew inspiration from Arietti, or the borrowers, the idea of household items being reclaimed and reused by magical wee folk, and especially pretty sparkly items, things like thimbles, things like buttons. I just love the idea of them being given as offerings and then being reused. Beautiful envelope, and another little envelope made from some vintage book pages. Put in it what you will. And I've just bound the edge of this page with loads and loads and loads of buttons. Another blank card for you to fill in. Included lots of bells because they just sound so magical, and silver bells are associated with fairy folk, so it's just perfect. Another wildflower vintage book page. A little close-up of another paperclip. So you can really fit in lots more than what you see. You have much more space to write on. You can attach things. Here's the main bookmark, so gorgeous piece of embroidered ribbon with like a sage green tassel on the end. And a series of paper pockets. This is attached to some floral handmade paper. Another vintage book page which I've altered into a pocket. So you have plenty of space for your affirmations, for spare tarot or oracle cards you're working with, petitions you may have worked with, little notes to yourself. There's limitless possibilities. Final page of a vintage wildflower book, and then you've got a wee little tuck space on the inside cover of the book there, just for some small items like so. And there we have it. That's the fairy inspired grimoire. If you would like to see a few photographs, those are all on my Etsy. And please feel free to check out my Instagram at Tea with Crows. Until next time, bye bye.